With the historic short squeeze of the GameStop stock that's going on in the stock market right now, I thought it would be a perfect time to talk about fundamental steps in finding the next opportunity for success. Whether that's through money, stocks, or work success, there are certain actions that you can take that will help expand your probability of hitting the jackpot. Now, if you stay within the realm of stocks and you want to find the next stock that's undervalued and heavily shorted by the hedge funds, well, you just have to learn fundamental analysis. There's no way around it. But I'm not here to talk about fundamental analysis. There are tons of finance channels that can help you do that, but I think that there is something that is much easier for people to grasp and use to their advantage. And that's properly leveraging your connections. You see, almost everyone who profited off of the GameStop situation was told about the situation, whether through a friend or through a post online. Most of these redditors were not sitting double checking deep effing values numbers on analysis of GameStop's earnings. And while the GameStop jump was a great opportunity to grow your wealth quickly, the next opportunity probably won't come from stocks. It will come from a business opportunity with someone you know, or a distant friend's connection to your dream job. Even if it does come from a stock, you want to properly tune your social network so that you're more likely to be informed of these important opportunities. There's a few really important ways to do just that, which aren't talked about too much, so let's talk. One of the most fascinating yet counterintuitive ways of opening yourself to triumph is through finding strength in weak ties. We often place the most value in our closest connections that surround us, but most of the time opportunity lies in the dormant, weaker ties, believe it or not. And this is because there's hidden power in the dormant ties of your network that's sitting untapped. In the years since you've last communicated with some of these people, well, they've connected with an entirely new set of people and gathered entirely new knowledge that has the potential to be life-changing for you. Let me explain what I mean through the incredible story of UFC's founding. If you didn't know, it was founded by Dana White and the Fertitta brothers. The connection between them, though, may surprise you. They weren't friends, they weren't family, they didn't even work together. I mean, they didn't even work in remotely similar fields. Dana White was an MMA trainer, and the Fertitta brothers were involved in the casino industry. The only connection was that they went to the same high school. Lorenzo Fertitta and Dana White met at a mutual friend's wedding and talked about their shared interest in MMA. Soon after, White found out that UFC was having trouble staying afloat and was looking for a buyer. So he brought it up to the brothers and explained why he thought that it would be a profitable buy. Now, White had the connections to make the deal happen, and the Fertitta brothers had the money. So they went through with it. Eventually, they built it up, and in 2016, they sold it for $4 billion. This connection may seem like a fluke of random luck, but this is a textbook case of how a forgotten link can grow into something extraordinary. And I would go as far as to say that weak links give you a better chance at finding amazing job opportunities as well. This claim can be validated through a study from 1970 by Mark Granovetter, a PhD student at Harvard. He conducted a study on companies around the Boston area and asked recent hires if they had been hired through a connection. If so, they asked how often they see that colleague. 17% said that they see that person often, 55% said that they see the contact occasionally, and 27% said that they rarely saw the person. More people got jobs from connections they rarely see than those who got a job from someone that they often see. And if we're talking about the power of connections, we should really be talking about Adam Rifkin. Rifkin has been coined Silicon Valley's best networker and has used his vast network to expose himself to hundreds of remarkable business opportunities. His network includes the founders of Flickr, Twitter, Netscape, along with a bunch of other tech founders, along with a bunch of famous chefs, famous directors, and thousands of others in the San Francisco area and on. And while he does run ventures of his own, he would not entirely need to, as he has placed himself in a position to constantly be informed of new up-and-coming companies within Silicon Valley. The investing opportunities are endless for him. And his tips for people wanting to expand their social network are as follows. First, connect with at least one person professionally every day. Make it a habit that you're accustomed to. It could be following up with someone you know, reaching out to someone you don't, or asking a friend to introduce you to one of their friends. Second, introduce two people who you think should know each other, but don't. Follow up with them later to learn whether that introduction was worthwhile so you can get better at making introductions. And this is something that we often don't think about doing because we are only looking to expand our own skills. But an introduction is the most powerful daily action that you can do to actually build your own network. In a few minutes, you can have a dramatic impact on the lives of two people and generate goodwill that ultimately ends up back on you. Through Rifkin's own introductions, 12 highly successful business partnerships formed, meaning those founders actually owe a huge amount of credit to Rifkin. Third, become a little more selfless. The biggest thing that people do wrong when attempting to make connections is to rush things. By pushing the relationship to get progress that ultimately benefits you and your work, you force the relationship to crumble. Good relationships are actually built up little by little and through selfless acts. Follow up in simple ways that help the other person. Simply offer a piece of information, or an article, or a YouTube channel, or an Instagram post, or anything that the person might like. Do something that's not for you every day and expect nothing in return. And what's funny about this is it will be reciprocated anyway. Humans have a tendency to want to reciprocate, so it's likely that they will keep you in mind as well and start sharing information back with you. Like, hey look, Reddit is causing GameStop's price to skyrocket. Maybe we should get in on that. I hope you guys like that little connection I made to the whole GameStop situation. I actually didn't get in on the GameStop stock early on. I didn't catch the train up, which kind of inspired me to make this video because, you know, I had friends that said that their friends told them about it, but then none of my friends told me about it. You know, the channel of connections kind of stopped right before me. So I was thinking, well, how can you know, expand your connections and use your connections to benefit you in the best way? So I hope that you guys liked it. I hope that it benefited you in some way. You learned something new. As always, thank you for watching, and I will see you again next week.